This one held at Washington's Heritage Foundation earlier this week to mark the end of Women's History Month. The key takeaway from that confab: everybody go out right now, go get married. That's right, sisters. Struggle no more for equal pay, for equal respect, for greater political power. Conservatives have found the key to your happiness, and its name is husband. It's not cavewoman thinking, syndicated columnist Mona Charan told the audience. Women know, because of the nature of their bodies, because they carry and raise children, that they need support and protection during that time. The happiest women find that protection. Millions of women have taken feminist advice, she went on, and it's led to unparalleled misery. Unparalleled misery. Or it's led to equal rights, better education, fairer wages, and a generally stronger sense of self-worth, also known as unparalleled misery. To those women seeking to escape the hellfires of feminism, Charan and her fellow conservatives offer a solution: put a ring on it. We should show concern for everybody by extending the marriage franchise to everybody, proposed panelist Molly Hemingway, author of a 2011 article on being a submissive wife. If we truly want women to thrive, Charan agreed, we have to revive the marriage norm. And while that concern is no doubt totally genuine, it is not lost on the conservatives that reviving the marriage norm would also help Republicans thrive at the ballot box. The ballot box where single women went for President Obama over Mitt Romney by 36 points. But married women favored Romney by 7. As Ms. Hemingway put it, it is the decline of marriage that is the lodestar for why people's voting behavior is what it is. We do not have a sex gap here in voting. We have a marriage gap. Joining me now is correspondent for The Guardian and Spring Fellow at the University of Chicago Institute of Politics, Marie Cox. Anna, it's just like, I don't even need any questions. Just let her rip. I mean, the marriage gap. It's like the party is trying to open the flaps, increase the number of people, and instead of actually opening the flaps, they just want to turn everybody into a circus elephant.
Well, I was actually just thinking, even as you were introducing this, they were celebrating the end of Women's History Month.
Yes, exactly. Like really just the end of it, hoping it will never happen again.
Thank God it's over. Thank God Women's History Month is over. I mean, I have many thoughts on this. Some of them are polite, I can say in polite company. Some of them I can't. One of them is actually this idea that women need to somehow, they are responsible for reviving the marriage norm. Hey, you know what else is also true? It takes two not to marry. What's also happening is that men aren't marrying strong women, right? I mean, I think that we could also encourage, why encourage the women to be the ones who are submissive and find a husband that way? You know, why don't we encourage men to find some strong women out there? I mean, I think that's one thing. And the other thing is, and maybe this is where you were going, to tell people that the solution to the Republican problem with single women is for the single women to get married.
Yes.
That's a little bit like saying, you know, the solution to the Republican gap among black voters is...
Right. Become white.
Become white.
It's totally true. It's just change your demographic. Not we need a broader appeal. We need to change. We need to ask people to get into different buckets. I mean, the other thing that I would take issue with, and I don't know how you felt about this, is conservatives always point to this 2009 study, the paradox of declining female happiness. And it basically looks at a study from 1972 to 2006, wherein women reporting they are very happy fell 0.15 percentage points. And they use that as a cudgel to say feminism was a failure. It is, as one of those panelists said, it led to unparalleled misery. My contention would be life has gotten more complicated, for women especially, and saying you are plainly happy is a more complicated prospect in the 2000s than it was in the 1970s.
And I, for one, would rather have a full life than I would rather have a happy life. You know, I would like to fully experience all that life has to offer rather than to simply be happy. And maybe that doesn't make sense to some people, but I think people who have full lives know what that means. And also, yes, I want to point out that, you know, women, when they said that they were happy, they were being taught a very specific version of what it means to be happy. You know, they were taught that you really, if you are married, if you have children, that means you should be happy. And I think women went around thinking, well, then I guess I must be happy. I have this stuff, so I guess I'm happy.
Right.
And feminism taught women to question whether or not that's what they really wanted. It taught them to question what really would make them happy. And for a lot of women, the things that they believe would really make them happy aren't as easily available to them as they're available to men.
The other thing that I find curious is this sort of reverse agro anti-feminism. You know, Sheryl Sandberg has this movement called Ban Bossy, and Karen Agnes, who is part of the conservative network of enlightened women, a network whose name I will take issue with, says that rather than try to ban words like bossy, let's try to promote real leadership skills like developing a thick skin. This is also like, there was a whole argument a couple weeks ago about pay equity, and some women in that argument said women just need to stop whining and become better negotiators. It's like, rather than help our fellow women, why not just slap them back and make them feel inadequate?
Right. Well, you know, anyone who thinks that women don't already have a thick skin, you know, obviously isn't a woman. If you're a woman in business or politics today, that thick skin part isn't the problem. That's for sure.
Well, it is an ongoing debate. There will be another Women's History Month as far as I can tell. Marie Cox, thank you as always for your time.
Thank you.